Hey people, Duncan here. I want to take you on a journey. Okay, so let's say we all know that the country was independent, won its Revolutionary War in 1778. Now, let's say our forefathers are sitting in a room, they're sitting at a table, they're trying to figure out how to come up with a judicial system that works for the people. They want this country to be ran by the people. They don't want a king. They don't want a monarchy. So what they decide is they throw their Bible down on the table. They said, how much of this can we put into our country, our new nation? So they start going through and they start getting all the morals and the values of Christianity, and they start developing our laws. Well, it doesn't take long before these forefathers realize that it's going to take more than religion for this country to stand. So they have to get financial backing. So they start going to international trade companies, big money, big business people, and people who have ties all around the world. Okay? So these people come in, they're given a home to set up operations, to create essentially a global market for their own currency and wealth. So these individuals, with the help of the Masons who created this country, they start building up. They start adding money. They start making America a little bit better. And then these rich people, these elite realize, well, why are we letting the little people create laws that dictate our money? So now these big money decide, we need to do something about protecting our money, our investments. So what they do is they create these institutions, and these institutions get these secret societies. Now let's say these secret societies go Skull and Bones, 1823, I think. Now these societies start start teaching their boys, their kids, how to be essentially them, how to run big business, make money, be proud, right? So at this point, these colleges come up, and every college, these teens adopt their own ideals. Before you know it, in 1920s, 1930s, the communist subversion starts. Basically, this movement inside our colleges that sympathize for communism. Well, it becomes huge. It becomes so big that McCarthy has to come up with laws that are essentially overturned. McCarthyism shows up. Okay, this is an entire period where communism is okay in the minds of our youth. That's subverted in our colleges. So now these are the same colleges that have the societies with the big money. So you can assume that the Lawyers Guild that was formed in the 1930s from the Communist Party, you can assume they interacted with the big business, the big money, with the backing of the church and the Masons. Now you got America, which is essentially being ran by the church, the big money, as well as now the lawyers. Now, with the ability of the deep state and their secret societies, they start teaching not only business aspects, but they start teaching law. They start creating lawyers, judges, politicians. Okay? By the 1950s, Vietnam starts. Now we're talking about the industrial war complex. We're talking about the military subversion, as well as the media subversion, because let's not forget, Vietnam was big business, but it was also the first time media was put inside every living room in America. So they saw war firsthand. Okay, these journalists were on the front lines. They saw it firsthand. Now, so you got the media, which is ran by these companies, which is owned by the big business. You got the lawyers backing them up, but the politicians put in place, and they're all using Vietnam in order to get their policies, their agendas passed. Now, JFK warns us about it in the 60s. He's shot, assassinated. By the 70s, we have a massive influx of illegal immigration, cocaine, gangs from Mexico. We start shipping factories to Mexico. This is what I call the beginning of the Mexican subversion. Okay, now what happens is this cocaine and this gang culture literally resonates inside our inner cities. So by the time the 80s start, the urban culture begins. So many of our youth is once again subverted into gang culture. Bloods, Crips. It was cool to I mean, we heard it on the news, we heard it on the media. It was all about the rap music. Okay, that was the 80s and the 90s were all about urban gang rap music. Okay, this is now you got not only the media, but now you got the entertainment world against subverting our youth. So you got the entertainment world, you got the media, you got the lawyers, the politicians, you got the big bankers, and you got the church, which by now is probably corrupted. Okay, so now you got all these on one side, and you got what's left is this little tiny cesspool of America. This little tiny group of Americans fighting to keep what America is. But they keep subverting us. It's not over yet. So when you think of Ronald Reagan and the Skull and Bones, when you think of Bush Sr., Skull and Bones, maybe even had something to do with JFK assassination. Then when you think of Clinton, who created NAFTA and sent even more jobs to Mexico, by the 90s our cities were flowing with millions of illegal immigrants. We had a massive drug problem. We had a massive unemployment problem. We were sending jobs overseas. Clinton showed up. He band-aided it, which only pushed the problem to Junior. Junior, I think, was just a puppet with the famous last name, and it just kept getting worse. We were more and more subverted. But 2001 is the next subversion. I believe this is the Islamic subversion. 2001, September 11th. We all know the day. Okay, this is the day that Islam entered the United States in every household in America. It wasn't literally whether or not you believe the towers was a scam or not. But from that day on, Islam became a major talking point in America. Now, it allowed us the ability to go to the Middle East, to start a war, and to open up the door once again for Obama's refugee program. So, now you can say this country's been Islamically subverted because now they're teaching it in our schools. These refugees are running for offices at the local levels. They're changing local laws, local school curriculums. They're creating Sharia zones all over this country. Okay, you got the illegal immigrants from before them who are wanting their rights, even though they don't even have any. And then, I mean, we're talking all the way down the list. This country's been subverted. We have all been subverted all the way down the list. So the question is, what's next? Okay, I literally gave you the history of America from 1778 to 2016, and I told you every time America was subverted. So when is the American people going to wise up? Okay, that's the thing, people. We need to wake up. We need to realize who it is who is running this country. We the people were supposed to run this country. We no longer run it. We've been subverted so many different ways by so many different people, so many different groups that we don't know if we're coming or going. The American people must realize, they must research, they must look this up. They will see this tyranny and this corruption. That's my message. Be careful of what you think you know. Research. The internet is for data, not dating. Learn. Make your own opinions based on your own facts, based on your own research. And share when others want to hear it. Have a great day. That's all I got. Duncan out.